When you think of Africa, what comes to mind? Safaris? Deserts? Maybe even wild animals wandering through city streets? Well, what if I told you that many of the most common beliefs about Africa are completely wrong? Today, we're going to shatter these myths and take a fresh look at one of the world's most diverse and dynamic continents. Stay tuned as we debunk the top myths about Africa. Coming up next, we'll be debunking some of the most common myths about Africa, like the idea that Africa is just one country or that everyone there lives in mud houses. We'll also tackle the misconception that Africa is all desert and that people live alongside wild animals. Plus, we'll set the record straight on why not every African wants to leave the continent for Europe or America. Stay tuned to learn the real story behind these myths. Myth number 1. Africa is a country. Well, let's get one thing straight right now. Africa is a continent, not a country. In fact, Africa is made up of 54 unique countries, each with its own rich history, culture, and diversity. Imagine this. If you combined the USA, India, China, Japan, and Europe, they'd all fit into Africa and still have room to spare. From the pyramids of Egypt to the bustling streets of Lagos, Africa is home to over 1 billion people who speak more than 2,000 languages. So, let's put this myth to rest once and for all. Myth number 2. Africa is always hot. While it's true that West Africa can get scorching, that's not the whole story. Africa's weather varies dramatically depending on where you are. From snow-capped mountains in the Atlas Ranges to the cooler climates of South Africa, the continent has a surprising variety of weather patterns. In fact, some African countries experience chilly winters. Yes, snow in Africa is real. So, next time you think of Africa's weather, remember, it's not just one thing. It's a continent of extremes. Myth number 3. Africans do nothing to help themselves. This myth is perpetuated by well-meaning but misleading charity ads. You've seen them. Sad children in need of help. But did you know that in 2010, Africans living abroad sent over $51 billion back to their families? That's more than the aid sent from Western countries combined. Africa is a continent full of resilient people building businesses, creating jobs, and investing in their futures. So the next time you hear this myth, remember, Africans are not waiting for charity. They are helping themselves and their communities in powerful ways. Myth number 4. Everyone in Africa lives in a mud house. Let's debunk this once and for all. Africa is home to some of the world's largest cities. Take Lagos, Nigeria. With a population of over 21 million, it's more populated than London. Africa is rapidly urbanizing, with major cities like Nairobi, Cairo, and Johannesburg being home to millions of people. Urban living in Africa is far from basic. It's dynamic, vibrant, and modern. Myth number 5. People in Africa live alongside wild animals like lions and leopards in their everyday lives. It's a common misconception that wildlife roams freely through African cities. While Africa is home to some of the world's most magnificent wildlife, you're not going to find a lion on your street corner in downtown Nairobi. In fact, most African cities are modern, with infrastructure that rivals any other major city around the world. Wild animals live in their natural habitats, far from the hustle and bustle of city life. Myth number 6. Africa is just one big desert. Sure, the Sahara Desert is huge, but it only covers about a third of the continent. The rest of Africa is home to rainforests, fertile farmlands, and lush landscapes. Africa is a land of contrasts, from its vast deserts to its dense jungles and everything in between. It's one of the most ecologically diverse continents on the planet. And finally, myth number 7. Every African wants to leave for Europe or America. While many Africans seek opportunities abroad, the truth is that Africa is full of people passionate about staying and building their future on the continent. With growing tech industries, businesses, and educational opportunities, many African youth are focused on innovation, entrepreneurship, and their communities. Africa's future is bright, and more people are choosing to stay or return to contribute to its development. So there you have it, the top 7 myths about Africa debunked. The next time someone mentions these common misconceptions, you'll have the facts to set the record straight. Africa is a continent full of diversity, innovation, and promise, and it's time we started seeing it for what it truly is: a place of incredible opportunities and endless possibilities. If you learned something new today, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more videos like this. And share this video to spread the truth about Africa. Drop a comment below with any other myths you'd like us to debunk in the future. See you in the next video.